Welcome to day 100 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of September 2002, which was Sweet Home Alabama.
What a wonderful movie to
Oh,
name our
yeah,
100th
wow.
movie.
I really wish that the 100th movie was way better. Oh, Jesus.
Happy 1/3 mark, everyone. This movie sucked.
Yeah, oh god. This,
Has a dog in the movie.
It wasn't in the movie enough.
Yeah, it really wasn't in the
this,
Oh my god.
I don't know. I came into this movie with a bad headache. And I think my headache's actually better now, and I think it's just because the Tylenol's working, but the movie definitely did not help. And I was just like, oh. I was very certain that, I wasn't going to like this movie just based on what it was, and that it was also poorly rated. So I was like, oh, great, this is what I get to watch today when I have a headache that's lasted, all day. So, yeah, it's
kind of sad that it's only now that your headache has gotten better.
I know,
right?
Ugh. It's not. It's still there too. It's not like it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is worse than I thought it would be. Because I thought it'd be pretty bad. But
I'm not really sure how I feel either. I feel like I'm insulted for a lot of people who were supposedly represented by this movie. I feel insulted for Southerners right now.
mm-hmm.
And none of us are from the South, but just seeing how this movie portrayed the South, I'm just I feel like it's not like this, you know?
Yeah, it's
I felt pretty insulted for the South, and I was just I guess this is what we're gonna be dealt.
Yeah, okay, well, here's the thing. The basis of this movie, and as soon as we you know what the premise is, which is pretty easy to figure out, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Especially since it's a rom-com too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Once you know the genre and that oh, there's this person from the South, but she hasn't been there in a long time, and she's, she is gonna marry this guy from New York, but she wants to go to the South first, you're like, okay, I immediately know what's gonna happen. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie doesn't even try to make it work.
Yeah.
The guy in Alabama, who she's still technically married to, is just an asshole.
Yeah.
Until he's randomly not.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. There's no transition. It's just they're assholes to each other, and then it's oh, we're not anymore, and now we kind of love each other. And it's what? There was not even an attempt to try to work with that. You didn't even try.
The whole signing divorce papers thing was done better in Twister.
Oh my god. No, okay.
I forgot about that scene in Twister.
Oh, Jesus. But no, because that's the thing, okay. I was about to give this movie credit because it actually made me believe that they were gonna do a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
So
With getting the divorce papers signed and everything.
So when they had the divorce papers signed, and then it was oh, the New York guy, he found out that she lied to him, and at first he's pissed. I'm oh fuck, here we go. But then a bit later he's actually, you know what? I don't really care. And I'm oh my god. a reasonable reaction for someone who actually loves someone? And it's
I know,
and
it's
we're
amazing.
actually gonna get married anyway. And the Southern guy is oh, I'll just, okay, fine, I get it, that's your choice, fine. I'm holy fuck, is this legitimate?
It was
And
so
then-
close.
And then the guy comes up being you forgot to sign, and I'm oh no. no, don't do it. And she's like, not signing. I'm like, you fucking dick. Oh my god, you literally ruined like the tiniest amount of hope that you legitimately made me believe. And I feel like that's worse than like just not doing it to begin with.
Yeah, it is worse because it leads you on for like so
it
long.
makes you think it's at least going to like not be complete shit and like actually have a decent message of like, because again, it actually seems like it's going for the like, you know, oh, you don't have to love like what you grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like at first. I'm like, that's a legitimately good message that's really not shown that much, and then they just butcher it and utterly destroy it, and it's like, at least in like Runaway Bride and shit like that, it's like you had no hope, right, throughout the whole movie. So it's like, is that better? Is it better to have no hope and just be resigned to your fate, or is it better to like try to do something good but just destroy it? I feel like destroying it is worse. Is that? Do you agree with that or what?
It's a tough argument, but I can see it go either way depending on the movie.
I know.
Yeah, it depends on the movie, I think. Because some movies, you kind of just have the tiniest bit of hope, and then it gets destroyed, and you're like, well, that was the thing that almost made a thing happen. But then having no hope for the film, it's kind of just like, why am I watching this? It kind of doesn't even give you a point, kind of, to watch the film, too.
I guess,
yeah,
the way you're looking at it is like, like, what is it? A potential that was there, but then, like, you lose it.
Yeah.
Instead of having no potential to begin with.
Because again, I feel like if they actually went through with that, it would have worked. Because it would have made sense as to like, oh, they're assholes to each other, and so like, oh, she actually realizes
they're just
that,
not
like,
compatible.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
not compatible,
Married.
and that like, you know, and how so much of the like middle part of the movie is about how she's all like, oh, these southern people are weird. I can't believe I used to grow up like this. You know what I mean? It's like, that actually fits the narrative if you were gonna go through the way that you did, but then you didn't, and it's it doesn't work. I'm just so like, oh my god, it hurts me.
I felt so
Yeah.
bad for the guy from New York.
Yeah,
he was
like,
actually a nice and decent
that's
person.
the thing.
Him.
There was
I
no
liked
reason.
him so much.
There was no reason to not like him. He did
He was
nothing.
a normal human being
Yes, which
with normal reactions and normal feelings.
until
Yes.
the very end, of course.
I
But
think
yeah.
that was the thing that I found most disappointing. I was just like, why?
Why are you not going with this very nice man?
Yeah, there was literally no reason to like not be with him. Like,
And like, yeah, what you were saying at the very end where he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, you can just leave me at the altar." It's like that trope where it's usually in like YA contemporary romances where it's like, "Oh, you cheated on me emotionally and fell in love with this other girl. That's fine, you go be happy." And I'm just like,
That's
No.
not how that works.
cause like that's the thing. Like his mom, the New York mayor or whatever. Like,
Hillary Clinton.
yeah, basically Hillary Clinton. Like, she's a stereotyped, conniving, like, elitist bitch, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time, like, she has a point
Yeah.
at that end where it's
actually.
like, you fucking let us on. It's like, you
Yeah.
did! You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute. You're right in this case. And it's portrayed as like, you know, she's so nasty and evil, and it's like, well, yeah, a lot of the time she is, but it's like, that's like the one time where it's like,
Yeah.
you understand.
end-
She actually had a point.
At the end, her anger is legitimate, and you can sympathize with her anger and being like, "You just totally let my son on, you bitch!" And now we're here at the wedding, and there's no wedding.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know?
because at least with Runaway Bride, where it deals with like, you know, not getting married or whatever, like that was set up from the beginning that like that was a thing with her character, however stupid it was or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you expected it, but here it was like you expected it, but then you didn't, and you thought it was gonna be okay, and then it's like, no, fuck you, like.
And then not only that, but I just realized upon us talking about this that the movie also portrayed it as it was going to lead on to that, because at least I think, what was it? There's a different movie, but anyway, in this movie, they actually showed scenes where with the fiance guy and his mom, and they're like talking and everything, and he's arguing for her case and stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah.
now all of that just went to nothing.
Yeah.
Right, because at first it starts it like it's framing it where, you know, it's an issue with the parents, right? That
Yeah.
the mayor doesn't like her, and then her parents won't like him, right? It's framed in that way, and so when the start of that's happening, you're like, oh, okay, that's how this is gonna work. But then when she gets back down to Alabama, and she runs into the I don't remember his name, the southern guy again. I don't know. It's like, then you're suddenly like, wait a minute, this is the plot? Like, okay, it's just, it wouldn't have been a good movie anyway, but they like go out of their way to make it worse. And it's, I think,
Yeah, the whole I'm gonna marry someone else but I haven't gotten my divorce yet thing, I'm just like, isn't that kind of wrong?
Yeah.
also you'd think that like even the most moronically incompetent person would have like not made that mistake. Like, really? Really? It's so it's so forced. It was
Not only that, but she mentioned at one point that she was dating the guy for 8 months, right? It's like, you didn't think that when you started dating this guy that maybe you should go and get your divorce
Finalize.
papers? Yeah.
yeah.
As opposed to waiting 8 months.
No, that's the thing. Like, you know, you'd think that if a plot point feels forced, the reason that it feels forced is because they really wanted to push in something that was really good, but they didn't exactly know how to get it in, right?
Right.
Here,
yeah.
it's like they were forcing the worst thing. It's like, but I don't get. It's so aggravating, and it's so
Like if
stupid.
it was just the storyline of, oh yeah, my parents don't like you and your parents don't like me, then it's fine because like it's a typical storyline, but they would have had more to work with and it wouldn't
A
have
typical
felt
Hollywood movie.
yeah, it wouldn't have felt so forced because it's not like, oh yeah, I'm married, so so much drama. It's like you can't really control your parents. It's just a matter of you have to get them to like understand you or your fiance, you know?
Yeah, because at least like that's a very common kind. I feel like we've already seen that movie basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
with
common.
parents, yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't also like kind of like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, kind of like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's something where it's like it's not new, and I'm not saying it would be good, but it would at least be like,
Competent?
yeah, it would have been like tolerable.
It would at least make more sense.
Yeah,
At the very least, it would be a competent storyline, not like this.
yeah. This is just
Why did they have to be married? Like,
I
couldn't
don't
it
know.
have just been that they were, like, sweethearts or something, and then she came down?
And then
Like,
she was like, oh yeah, I'm
the whole
gonna...
marriage thing into it kind of just left it so it had, like, this weird feeling in your throat. Like, are we supposed to be rooting for her?
Yeah, because like the thing is that when they did this in Twister, it's not at the forefront. It's like they're chasing tornadoes. In this case, they're trying to make it the forefront, and it doesn't work because it's such a weird moral thing to put in like the front of your movie. Like, do you
Yeah.
want someone to go back to the person that they're pretty much divorced from, except from one signing away? Or do you want them to go try to marry this other person while they're still technically legally married? Like, what option do you choose?
Also,
Yeah.
especially since again how they're portrayed at the beginning, her and the Alabama guys, again, like they're assholes to each other. So it's almost like it almost feels like it's saying like, you know, oh yeah, that guy who like abused you, like he's not that bad, you know, you really love her or whatever. And it's like, that's troubling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we ragged on the New York dude in the beginning of with like the rose petal situation because this fucker like comes into her apartment, leaves like 100 rose petals all over the place, and then leaves a voice message and then leaves, and it's like, thanks asshole, now you make me have to clean up all the fucking petals myself. But anyway, like that's at least like annoying. He's not like verbally abusive or anything like that. So
No.
it's
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck? I don't get it. It's so it's I don't know.
I will bring up one point, which was I like the best friend guy.
The gay guy?
Yeah, I did like him.
Literally
least
don't
that's-
even remember him. I remember he existed, but I don't remember anything he did.
I
I just
Remem-
like the.
I remember the fact that like he was a very normal person as well.
There was that, and then I was like, at least they didn't. It wasn't like
an extreme
forgot.
stereotype.
Yeah, it didn't go with the stereotype thing, and then
that's
they.
nice, at least.
Mhm.
And I was also concerned about the fact that they were going to make him as like, make it a love square almost.
Oh,
They would just throw the best friend character and be like, "Oh yeah, I also had feelings for you too."
yeah.
Something that also happens. So the fact that they did that was nice. Was probably the only nice thing, really. But
Him, the New York guy, and I mean, I kind of liked her parents because they were kind of also a little bit normal. But
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
main girl's a bitch, though.
and
we knew that from the start.
yeah,
Like a thoroughbred bitch.
and again, like what you said earlier about how like it's so like stereotyped in terms of the South or whatever. Like they just have some old dude just like blowing shit up for no reason, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, and they for seemingly out of nowhere, there's like a fucking like Civil War memorial shit, and it's like, really, come on,
Yeah.
so
And I was just like-
stupid.
Really?
It's like they're trying so hard to fuck it up. Like, it's like they had at least a tolerable beginning, and then on purpose they're like, how do we fuck this up in every
Yeah.
way? It was just like, oh god. Like,
Oh,
yeah, literally
man.
the only thing I could, the stuff that you mentioned, Tara, then like the only other thing, I mean, I guess like, if you went on a purely like audio visual, not even that actually, because no, I remember specifically there were some times where I felt like the dialogue, like it felt like it was recorded in like a different place. Like there was a few lines where like it sounded like echoey when it like shouldn't have.
Oh, like it was dubbed or something?
Yeah, and I was like,
Like,
wait a
huh?
minute, that's weird. Like, I was one of them was actually during the end scene, and like when the dude's in the rain, and no, like he sounded like he was in
Oh,
a building
yeah.
for like
Oh, yeah.
one sentence. He sounded like he was in a building, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? It was like really obvious. So, and there was a couple times that happened. So, not even that. Never mind. Fuck this movie. Everything's shit.
As I said, the only two bright points that I see with this film are the dog and the best friend character, and the guy from New York.
Yeah, that's it.
And even
That's
then,
really
it's
good.
not even like they're good. It's more so, oh, these are not completely terrible.
No, the dog was good.
Well, okay, it's hard to make a dog completely terrible.
Dogs are pure.
Like terrible humans that make shitty
Everyone was
movies.
so mean to the dog.
Yeah, I know. It was horrible. I was like, why? Why do you keep telling him to shut up?
I mean, he was kind of annoying.
No.
He was better than the rest of the characters.
Well, okay, that's not hard to do. Okay, that's not an excuse. I don't know. Is this?
I guess we can wrap it up now.
Well, I guess to crap it up, is this Sora treatment worthy?
I still hate the what's it called? My best friend's wedding more. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like right on the fence. I can't decide.
I'm kind of on the fence too, so I guess we'll just leave it and try to salvage the rest of this year. I think we'll be able to, even though the next movie will be completely different, and you guys will hear a very nice story from me because
Oh,
I'll be
boy.
announcing again.
Yes, to start our second 100, we
Yeah.
have a very special movie.
We start with more childhood trauma. Yay!
Oh boy.
I'm actually kind of like legitimately interested to see this movie. So, yeah.
I am too. We know that someone how did I screw up saying obviously? We know that someone here is obviously looking forward to this more than anybody, too.
I'm gonna try to watch it, but I don't have any guarantees. But yeah. So this is something I've watched part of, and yeah, more childhood trauma. Why does this always happen to me?
It's because we love you.
Yes.
Thanks for the trauma, guys.
You're welcome.
Hey, at least I'm going to be spending that movie with you.
True.
So you can probably,
Scream,
yeah.
cry, and die. Yeah.
Actually, that would be something that you're doing regardless of whether I'm actually at your house or not, but regardless.
Yeah.
You'll have someone to die with.
Oh, no.
So yeah. See you later.
Bye.
Oh,
guess.
boy.